Alright, for the first portion of putting things together, as it shows in the manual, we're going to go ahead and press the M5 lock nuts into the holes inside of the brace. And there are two of them. So we're going to lay those out. You can either use your little bolt pressing tool if you would like, or a pair of pliers. It's up to you. We're kind of used to doing this, so these actually will just slide right in, and they're a little bit loose on this particular one. Some of them may be tighter than others. When we run into a screw like this that's a little bit loose and that can fall out, we keep some Scotch tape handy, because you don't want them falling out while you're in the middle of your install. And very simply, I got a piece that's too big here. Just use a very small piece, and we're just going to stick that right over the top. We don't need to really do anything else. We're just sticking that piece of Scotch tape over the top so the screw or the nut doesn't fall out. I'm going to go ahead and do that on both sides. Little trick that we learned. You just take the tape off once you get the bolt through there. It just keeps them from falling out, and it just makes your build a little bit easier. Okay, now that we've got those done, we are going to skip down to step number 5. And before we install these onto the front plate, we're actually going to go ahead and install the front body mount. And if you take a look at your front plate, there's recesses for your screw holes on one side, and there is not on the other. The side with the recessed holes is the top of the plate. So we're going to take the part number 85440-4, which is a front body mount, and we're going to slide it into the center hole, which is right here. Very simply just slips in, and you can see that it pokes through the bottom. And we are going to take the little plastic washer, which is part number 85440-1. We're simply just going to slide it right over that, and we're going to use the body clip that's included to go ahead and secure that in. These body clips are tight, and you can hurt your fingers pushing them through sometimes, so you may want to use a pair of pliers unless you have real tough fingers. And that's in there, and it does swivel. You can turn it. Let's go ahead and turn it so that it's straight, like so. At this point now, we're going to go ahead and attach the turning, the steering holders here for the top plate. Let's look at the bottom of the plate. On the bottom, you're going to see that there are two holes caddy corner here and two holes caddy corner here, and one hole is larger than the other. If you take a look at the bottom of the mount, you're going to see that one hole, or actually one protrusion, is larger than the other. We're going to go ahead and just slide those in, and they are going to be loose and can potentially fall out. Go ahead and rock it and swivel it back and forth until it pops in. And at this point, we're going to load up on Scotch tape again so that they don't fall out. And again, the tape can come off later, but we're very simply just going to tape that on and leave a little portion here so that we can pull the tape off later. Going to go ahead and tape that on so it doesn't fall off, and we're going to go ahead and do the same on the second side, like so. Use a piece of Scotch tape on here so that it doesn't fall off. Alright, now we have our top plate ready to install onto our bulkhead assembly. What we're going to do is hold the top plate in one hand like so. We're going to swivel the bulkhead around so that the orange brace is facing away from us, and the top plate will go ahead and slide right in, just like so. And there are two mounting screw holes right here, and we're going to insert our little flathead screws in there. We had put nuts in those holes in the previous step on page 8. So we're going to go ahead and put those in like so. And tighten them up. Okay, when you're using an electric screwdriver, I'm going to keep telling you about this. Make sure that you have the clutch adjusted properly, and then always follow back up with a hand tool to make sure that they're nice and snug. If the bolts are actually too snug, you're going to want to back your clutch off a little bit. You want to be able to tighten them just a little bit with a hand tool. And that's how the front plate goes on the bulkhead assembly. And we are going to go ahead and start on page 10 in our next tutorial.